Hello. Hello, everybody. Good to see you this Friday lunchtime. My name is Carl. I hope you're all doing well and all okay, wherever you are in the world watching this webinar. This is a live question and answer session hosted by me, Carl, and TEFL.org, TEFL.org. And I'm here to answer any questions you might have about TEFL. The theme of today's webinar is about applying for your first jobs and how to basically go teach abroad, this kind of thing. But any questions you have about that, please put into the comments. Please say hello. Let me know you're out there by putting your name and your location in the comments. It would be great for me to know where everybody is in the world. I'm currently in Northern Ireland, and in Northern Ireland I work as an English teacher online. I have my own students that I teach online through Zoom, and I have a website and a Facebook page that brings those students to me. So if you've got any questions about anything like that at all, please let me know. I also work as a teacher trainer. So if you are looking to become a TEFL teacher in Northern Ireland, you will see me at the weekend courses that we offer. And I'm also an English examiner. So basically I examine students that want to take a test in English as a foreign language, and I give them a grade basically. And I do that online. And in the non-COVID time, I do that face to face. So I can see the hellos are coming in. Hello, Vijaya. You're in Dubai. Oh, I bet I'm so jealous that you're in Dubai. I'm in Northern Ireland and it is freezing cold, although it's not raining, which is a good thing. So please, any comments you have, any questions, just say hello so I know where you are. So, hello, Marlene. Yeah, all the hellos are coming in. Good. It's good to see you all today. So if you are currently thinking about going abroad to teach, although of course at the moment we have the COVID, we have coronavirus, this kind of thing, but I think with the vaccine coming, this might be the sort of time where you can start to at least plan about going abroad. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you have already got your TEFL qualification. So, for example, we offer a 120-hour TEFL course on our website. It's all online, and I'm going to assume that you have such a qualification because that is the first step towards going to teach abroad. But if you don't have that qualification and you have any questions about it, please put them in the chat. And either myself or Erin is monitoring the chat today, will be able to answer those. Okay, so look, all the hellos. Hastings, not quite as exotic as Dubai, I'm afraid, Claudia. Hello, Marlene, Charlotte, Julie in Newcastle. Hello, Katerina from Greece, Poland, Martha, Mark from Ireland, someone from Morocco with Arabic writing. I'm really sorry, I can't read Arabic. And Eddie from Chile. Hello, Chile. It'd be warm down in Chile at the moment. Right, so you've got your qualification. What's the first thing you need to do if you're looking to go abroad? And probably is to choose a country somewhere in this beautiful world of ours that you want to go to. That can be sort of easier said than done because some people really have a country in mind that they want to go and work in. Other people just have a region in mind, and sometimes it's easier if you've just got a region in mind. But if you do have a specific country you want to go to, then you are sort of making sure that there are jobs available for you. So there are countries where generally all the time work is available, and that could be countries such as China, such as Japan, South Korea, relatively more richer countries where they have a big market to learn English. So if you're happy to go to one of those countries, such as China, Korea, Japan, then I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find work. Okay, so, any time of the year that you want to apply, it's a bit easier. There are countries where you need to, which might be a bit more difficult. So, regions. Let's go with regions. So South America can be more difficult to get to, not impossible, but more difficult to get to from Europe or an English first language speaking country. And the reason being it could be more difficult is because their visa requirements are more stringent. So you've got to be able to get their visa requirements. So let's talk about the slightly easier countries first. So you think, okay, I want to go work in China. And therefore you go on to our website. For example, I'm going to share with you now our TEFL org website. Hopefully this will come up on the screen. You think, okay, I want to go to China. I've got my qualification. And what I want to do is look for jobs. And you can go to a website such as ours. If you look at the top, you have some TEFL jobs. There's a TEFL job center. And within that website, you can see all the lists of jobs that are currently being offered, both online and also in person. And you find the job that you want to go to. And you think, okay, do you know what? That sounds good for me. That sounds like I want to go teach in China. You click on China and they come up on our website and you think, okay, do you know what? I think I'd quite like to go live in one of the big cities like Dalian, or I'd like to go to live in a big city like Chengdu or Shanghai. And you look for it and you think, okay, right, what do I need in order to get that qualification? And you go through the requirements on our website and you see, okay, I can do this. Yes, I could do this. Yes, I could do this. Yes, I could do this. And then you start to apply, basically. Okay. So first thing is to think of a country. Second thing is to think about what sort of jobs are available in that country and the cities, and does it match up with the sort of thing that you're looking for? Okay. Now I can see some questions are coming in, so I'm just going to pause there to answer some questions. Thank you very much for saying I use the subtitles well. My pronunciation is quite good. It's kind of my job, so I hope it's not too bad, although I do have a bit of a London accent. Mehmet, hello. You're from the Netherlands. You have a question? Fine, about our certification. A Cert TESOL is much more accredited one than a TEFL certificate. Right, so basically, if you're looking to get into teaching English as a foreign language, there are different certifications that you can do, all right? And one of those things, you can do a course like ours, which is a 120-hour online course, or you can pay a lot more and do something like a CELTA, a CELTA, all right? And that is much more intense, and that is also much more expensive, okay? So you have to think which ones suit you more now, okay? If this is something that you are going to want to do for the rest of your life, it's a big investment. You're sort of looking at a good couple of £1,000 to do a CELTA or something like that. If you've got the money, and if this is something that you are very sure you want to do for the rest of your life, then I would maybe think about doing that. But if you want to get teaching quite quickly, if you maybe don't have as much money right now, and maybe you just want to do this for a short period of time and see how it goes, then I would recommend doing something like our 120-hour TEFL certificate, because it's cheaper. It'll get you up and running more quickly, and you will definitely find jobs that are available with our 120-hour certificate, Mehmet. So I'm not saying one is better than the other, because they are different, and I think they cater for different people at different stages in their life. Okay, so it does depend on you, but I teach or train lots and lots of students on our 120-hour course, and I love getting emails from them saying, yeah, I'm in what did I have one last week? I'm in Burma, teaching in Burma. Amazing. Another guy was like, oh, I'm teaching in Greece. Fantastic. I love hearing about all of this sort of thing. And that is definitely possible with something like our 120 hour course. You will find work in Asia, Mehmet, on the 120 hour TEFL org certificate that we have. Okay. All right, good. There's another question there I can see from Julie. Hello, Julie. You didn't get your TEFL through TEFL org. Can I still apply for jobs through your site? Okay, nice question, Julie. Yes, the jobs aren't straight away linked to our TEFL org certification. One thing is, and I don't want to know the company that you got your TEFL certificate through, but hopefully that certificate you're doing was an accredited certification from a company that is quite well renowned, because the company that you're applying for the job, they might look at your TEFL certification, and like ours, they know, because we've got accreditation stamps. The accreditation thing is important. We've got accreditation stamps, and you can Google us and see that we have a good quality accreditation. And the company that's taking people on, employing people to go work in China, whatever, there are different types of TEFL certificate by that accreditation. And if yours is a good one, yep, fine, they'll take you on. But if there are some companies out there that are not accredited to a high level, so I would be just to be a bit wary, Julie, of what your certificate is. Now, yours might be absolutely fine, and this is not relevant to you. But definitely, if you've got some sort of 120-hour certificate, you can definitely apply for jobs on our website. Good. So if you've then thought of the job and you start applying, so the first thing is, okay, do you know what? I want to go work in China. Let me start applying. And the first thing you've got to sort of realize is that it takes a while. This isn't the kind of thing where online jobs are different, but if you're going to go work over in China, this isn't the kind of thing where you apply on a Monday and you're in China a couple of weeks later. Okay. It does take a couple of months, probably at least, to sort of get yourself out there. Why? Because you have to go through the visa process. You have to go, well, first we have to go through the application process. That can take a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks before they interview you. Then if you're then offered the job, you then have to go through the visa process. The visa process can take a while to a lot of countries. Less so if you've got an EU passport and you're going into Europe before Brexit happens. But it can take a while before you're out there, because you've got to go through the visa process. There might be things like health checks. There might be all this kind of thing that you need to go through in order to get to work. All right. So one of the things you've got to be aware of when you're planning to go abroad and when you're looking for jobs is the company that is employing you. How much do they help you with the visa process? So some companies, they might just sort of leave you on your own to do the visa process. Other companies, they might help you. If you're new to going to teach abroad or going to work abroad, I would really recommend you sort of get as much help as you can out of the company. Most do help you, but some don't. So you need to sort of work out who is going to pay things like your visa costs, because they can be quite expensive. Don't be afraid to ask the company employing you, are you going to help me with my visa process? Are you going to help me with my costs involved in this? Get that down in emails. It's a nice question to also ask at the interview, that kind of thing. If you're sort of wondering what questions to ask someone when you or the applicant have to ask a question, it's a nice one to get going and to think about. Okay, so make sure that look at the applications. Does it say anything about visa costs? Does it say anything about the health checks? Sort of start looking at that kind of thing. Ask in the interviews, that kind of thing. Secondly, start to think about flights once you've got the job. Are they going to help you book the flights? Do you have to book your own flights? Who's going to pay for the flights? Quite often companies will, if you're going quite far to somewhere like China or Japan or Korea, they'll help you with the flight costs. Less so if you're going to Europe. European companies tend to not pay for flights. Asian companies tend to do. And you've got to work out what's going to happen with that cost of the flight. Is it just going to be paid for by them? Lucky, happy, really happy. Or some of them, they make you sort of pay it back within the 12 months of your contract. So if it's a £500 flight they've paid for, they'll divide the £500 by 50 and they'll divide the £500 by 12 and take a little bit off each month. Some they have clauses, whereas if you break your 12-month contract, you have to pay it back early. So these are the kind of things that you've got to start looking at and quite ready for planning with. Thanks, guys. Any questions at all? Doesn't have to be about going abroad. Could be about teaching online. Can be about anything. Please put them into the chat. I love to answer your questions. Mehmet, you're back. Hello. You have the 120-hour course certificate. Mehmet, your questions are so long that you're making me disappear. I've got to go up here. You are interested in the countries in the Balkans, like Romania or Northern Macedonia, maybe Turkey. Lovely. Yes, right. Okay, so Mehmet, the 120-hour TEFL org certificate is accepted by so many companies around the world. Okay, so basically any company where you see a job requirement of something like you must have your TEFL. So I'm just going to see if I can find one on here. I'm not sure I can while I'm talking, but oh, don't be sorry about putting it up, Mehmet. It's fine. It's good. It was just a joke. So any company where you see an advert and it says must have your 120-hour TEFL certificate. If you see something like that, then the TEFL org certification is worth it for that. Okay. Let me see if I can find one. Right. Yes, I think I can find one here on our TEFL org website. So this is a job. Erin, I don't know if you can make it bigger. Sometimes you can make it a little bit bigger. I don't know if that's possible. If not, I'll zoom in a bit maybe. There we go. Perfect. So for example, this is a job in China. You can see here, job requirements, 120-hour TEFL certification or better. So Mehmet, if you see any job which says that it needs a 120-hour TEFL certificate or better, then our one is relevant for that. Okay. So any job you see like that, whether it's in the Balkans, whether it's in China, whether it's in Asia, anything like that will get you there. Right. Turkey has a TEFL industry where they advertise jobs abroad. That is something that happens. You'll see jobs available in Turkey. Albania, that kind of region, they don't necessarily have the market to learn English as much so that the companies advertise abroad. If you want to go work in a company like that, in a country like that, my thing that I would recommend to you is to Google language schools that are in the town or the city that you want to live in. Okay. And then apply to them directly and say, hello, my name's Mehmet. I have a 120-hour certification. This is me. I have this Cambridge C1. Do you have any work? And see if they have any work. And they might be like, oh, yes, we're looking for someone. Or they might be, no, I'm afraid we don't have any jobs at the moment. So it is where the countries that you're asking for, Romania, North Macedonia, this kind of thing. There are TEFL jobs there, but they don't tend to advertise them externally, if that makes sense for you. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Mehmet. Megan, I'm awesome. Oh, Megan, you say the sweetest things. You bought the course a while ago and you're now just beginning. Tell me that this is doable. And please let us know any tips for getting started and break it down into smaller pieces. Thank you. Right, the course is definitely doable, right? We have tutors who are really keen to help people get through the course. Okay, so once you're on the course, there's plenty of support available to help you. There is also, for example, a group on Facebook, a TEFL org group. So not a TEFL org page like this one's going out, but a group. And on that group, you'll see lots of people helping each other, that kind of thing. You can put questions in, definitely gets going. Smaller pieces, just take it like lesson by lesson or module by module, depending on how much time you have. So some people do it full time, get it out the way. Other people, they might spend a couple of hours a week doing it on a Tuesday night, for example. So just break it down, depending on your timetable, how doable it is. We want people to get through the course. Okay. So if you're doing it with us, there's plenty of support available to help you. Okay. You can definitely get through it. All right. Hope that's given you the oomph you need. Claudia, hello. You just finished your 120-hour course and started posting offers to teach online. Lovely. Apart from, I'm gonna guess you're saying apart from Facebook there, not you want to stay in online students' apartments. I mean, I'm a married man. I definitely couldn't get away with that. Online apart from Facebook. Yes. So, believe it or not, one of the places where I got students when I first started was through the local classifieds of like Gumtree. I don't know if I think Gumtree's worldwide, isn't it? I think it is. Basically, they're like classifieds where people just post things that are available. In the English word is classifieds for it. So I put onto Gumtree, for example, hello, my name's Carl. I am an online teacher. Please contact me. All right. So that kind of thing, that definitely got me students. All right. Claudia, if this is your thing and you're wanting to teach online and get your own students, you could go down the route of like trying to get students through websites such as Italki, where you place your sort of advert and they contact you through that. There's a bit of competition on that. The other way is to go down your own website route. So you build your own website, you start paying for Google advertising, maybe that kind of thing. I've spoken previously about finding your niche. Okay, so by niche, I mean your small, what you are going to be the specialist in, because that will help you with your marketing and sort of go down that route and see what you can do. But eventually, I think having your own website is the way to keep going long term. Okay, good. Andro Machi, hello. You're Machi from London. You don't have a university degree. Will I still be able to work in China with just a TEFL certificate? Good question, Andrew Machi. So, right, China is one of the more difficult countries to get to without a degree, because to get the visa, you've got to have a degree. However, I do still sometimes see jobs advertised for people out there. Okay, but it can be kind of difficult sometimes, and this is not wholly probably advised for long term, but sometimes some people do go in on a tourist visa and then try and find work out there. But you're taking a bit of a gamble there because you don't know if there's going to be work guaranteed in the place where you're going to. All right. If you don't have a degree and you're looking to go to Asia, Machi, I would think maybe about Japan, because you can go on the working holiday visa to Japan, and that will allow you to teach in Japan without a degree. Okay, so think about the working holiday visa in Japan. There's also plenty of stuff on our website about teaching without a degree. Okay, and let me just show you. If you go to our website, there's a blog page which is sort of on the right hand side at the top. You'll see TEFL courses, new to TEFL, all the way across the blog. Click on blog, and then in the search you could do teaching without a degree. Okay, and then there's plenty of websites there about how to teach without a degree in various places. How to TEFL without a degree. That was the one I was looking for there. Okay, so definitely go on our blog page and just see if you can help. Okay, good. Prina, hello. Do you know how working abroad works for taxes, etc. back home? Is this something companies help us with, or we manage ourselves? Generally, I've never had a company that helps me with the taxes back in the UK. They don't really care about. So when I worked in Japan, Vietnam, Korea, China, Sri Lanka, Azerbaijan, not one of those companies helped me with taxes in the UK. We were all paid locally. We all pay taxes locally. Prina, I don't know where you are in the UK, but you can declare. I don't know if you're in the UK for a start. You might be anywhere. You could declare yourself as an what's the term? There's a special term for it. I don't know what it's called. But basically, you declare yourself a foreigner for tax purposes in the UK, I think. And then that way you don't need to pay tax in the UK. All right. I never did that. I just went abroad and I didn't worry about the taxes. Prina, you need to find out for your own country. Don't pay someone for some tax advice. You'll find plenty of stuff on Google about it. Okay. But on the whole, I've never paid taxes in the UK while I've been abroad. Just wasn't something that I did. Okay. Good. Hello. Right. Where's the next question? We did Prina's. Keep them coming in. Hello. Chloe. You're from the US and you're taking your online TEFL course with TEFL.org. You're highly interested in teaching and living in Spain. Beautiful. I've really missed. I work a lot in Spain and I've missed it a lot this year. Right. Spain, Chloe, I don't know if you've just got an American passport or whether you also have dual nationality. If you've got dual nationality, it's a lot easier. Getting an American visa to come to the UK is, to come to Europe. I should stop saying the UK because the UK is leaving the EU. It is a bit more difficult because you've got to go down the working visa process of applying. First thing is you need to find a job, and some companies might not employ someone from America because it would cost them a lot more than employing someone from within the EU themselves. And there's quite a lot of people want to go work in Spain. All right. So what I would recommend to you, Chloe, and this is the same whether you've got an EU passport or you don't have an EU passport, is think about where you want to go. Now, in Spain, people generally say, I want to go to Barcelona, I want to go to Madrid, the big cities. Think off the beaten track a little bit. So think of towns such as Zaragoza, think about Valencia, this kind of thing. Maybe Malaga, these are beautiful places to live. Absolutely love traveling there. Think about if you can go to one of those, there might be less competition for jobs. They might be more helpful in getting you to apply. And then you Google idiomas, which is language, schools in that city, come up with a few, and then contact them and say, look, this is me. I'm Chloe. How can you help me? I want to come there. And then because there's less competition for the jobs there, people maybe don't want to necessarily go and work there, then you might have more luck. The other thing to do, Chloe, and this does depend on your money, is just get yourself over there and just try and apply when you're there. And then you might be easier to get a working visa. Some companies in Europe don't like to go through the whole process of employing someone from outside Europe and then they don't turn up. That happens a lot. I've applied, I've done recruitment, and do you know what? I've got to the stage where people have said, yes, I'm coming. They never got on the plane. I paid for the flight. Everything drove me crazy. So that's something that schools are a bit wary of. Okay. Prina, hello. Right. It's the shorter stints in different countries, like a semester at a time, or is that really rare? It's quite rare. Okay, Prina. Generally, contracts abroad tend to be for 12 months. Once you've got a sort of master's level qualification, there are short contract jobs, but they are becoming less and less and less. This is something I used to do a lot, and now the competition for them is quite big. So it's quite difficult to get onto. You need to really go for a year. Some companies expect you to spend 2 years there. Okay. Good. Nina, yes, you can definitely watch the course again later. Definitely wherever you are, YouTube or whatever it is, Facebook. John, thank you. Good. Claudia, hello. Upwork. Oh, John, when you have questions, good. I'm glad that they've answered all your questions. They're fantastic. Good. Right. Tony T, hello. You wonder if you have any knowledge or experience of teaching in Costa Rica. So this sort of goes to Prina's question a little bit ago about the shorter teaching roles. Right. So Tony, I don't know where you are in the world, but if you're in outside of Central America, then it could cost the school a lot of money to fly you in. Yeah. So they might say, okay, you have to pay your flight costs, but it's quite an expensive country to get to, Central America. From my experience, I also worked as a bit of a travel agent before I was a teacher. Another story. It can be quite an expensive place to fly into, get to from outside Central America or North America. So for a school to take you on a short stint, they have to pay a lot of money up front for not much gain. They might say to you, you pay for your flights, but then I don't know on your financial situation, are you willing to pay for the flight and then maybe Costa Rica, you're not going to earn a huge amount of money. Are you willing to then not earn that much because you're paying back the flight costs that you've outlaid in the first place? Saying that, so shorter teaching roles are difficult. Full academic years is much, much, much more likely. Okay. Now, Costa Rica is one of the better countries. So in Central America, you've got Mexico and Costa Rica outside of COVID times that generally seem to have the most jobs available, I've found. Okay. Venezuela, which isn't a mile away, isn't that far away really, in terms of where are we over there somewhere. Used to have lots of jobs. Unfortunately, the last 5-10 years, I guess now, the amount of jobs in Venezuela have completely fallen, which is a big shame. Costa Rica is one of the places that I do see advertised. I would look on our website, see if there's any jobs available in Costa Rica, or I think another one where I've seen a lot of Costa Rican jobs is eslcafe.com. See if you can get any advice on there. Okay, see if you can find any work on there, see if there's anything like that. But I don't think you're going to get many short contracts for Costa Rica. Lucy, hello. Sorry, just having a drink there. You'll be graduating this academic year. Congratulations. And you're looking for summer camps. Right, Lucy. So you're looking for this summer coming. I've got to say, it's not something I know a huge amount about for summer camps. Erin, I don't know. Do we have a blog post on summer camps? I don't know. I don't know whether that's something that we can get up, or is it worth me searching? I don't know. Right. So previously I have had people apply for, right. So summer camps, if you're not sure, there's a lot of teaching work. Now, are you going to go abroad or in the UK? I don't know, Lucy. Right. Summer camps. Right. There's basically in the European summer, June, July, August, there are a lot of students that go from Italy, Spain, France to the UK, to Ireland to learn English. Okay, so there is a lot of work in the UK for TEFL qualified people for over those months. Okay, so if you're looking for some summer work, if you're at university to get you through, there's a lot of work in the UK, June, July, August. All right. And usually they do not have enough teachers to fill all those vacancies, usually. At the moment, that is obviously not the case because there's not as many students coming from European countries to study in the UK. Because there's not enough students, they have raised the bar a little bit for the teachers. So usually 120-hour certificate, doesn't matter if you've got a degree, come work for us, please, we love you. Because of the lack of numbers, they have now upped it a little bit to get a degree, to get the work, if that makes sense. So before anybody without a degree could apply, now they've said, well, actually, we've got less people. We want people with degrees. Fine. All right. So that's the reason why. I would apply for them and just show them your transcript of your results so far and show them that you're going to graduate. Okay, because if you're a British person looking to work in the UK, then there's no visa requirements in terms of your degrees. That it's just a requirement that they have had put on because the bar is a bit higher this year. Okay, I believe it will completely go back to normal and there will be a big build up. So in 2022, I think there's going to be a whole load of students coming over to the UK. But at the moment, people are still edgy about COVID until the vaccine's out there. Okay. Now, there are also the only other thing that you might be thinking about is summer camps in America. That is something totally different. And I don't really know how that works. I'm sorry. But I can see that Erin has really helpfully put in some summer school things in there. Good. Thank you very much, Erin. Right. Great. Next question, Alex. About tax. I like how everybody's caring about tax at the moment. You're looking to travel around Europe for a month at a time before changing country. Would I need to pay UK tax? You would need to pay local. Right. I don't know what job you're teaching online. Right. So if you're teaching online, you usually get taxed in the country where you are teaching online. So Chinese companies tend to, not all, but tend to tax people in China. So you'll earn your rate of pay and then you'll get the tax taken off in China. Okay. Then you don't necessarily, I think then you don't pay UK tax. I certainly don't for any work that I do. Okay. So you would just keep paying the local tax. Right. Listen, I'm not a tax expert. You need, don't say, if the tax office comes after you, don't say, well, Carl said on a webinar on the 11th of December, you have to search this out yourself legally. Okay. Disclaimer in there. I think you don't need to pay UK tax because you've already been taxed already in that country. That's what I think. Okay. Mehmet, Cambly. I think we had a blog post about Cambly and such things, didn't we? Let me have a quick search on that. I know people that go teach on Cambly and they really do get on really well with it. And it's a good way to get going. Yes, we do. On our TEFL.org blog page, Mehmet, there is a story here about Poppy. Look how happy Poppy is, Mehmet. You can be like Poppy. And she was teaching English online with Cambly. I would have a look on that. Just go with that, okay? And just see if you can find any help from that. Okay, definitely have a look on our website for that one. All right. Wayne, hello. You're from the UK and doing your online TEFL course. And you're thinking of working in the Far East. You're studying your masters. Wow. Okay. So they'll love you. Any advice? Ooh, Wayne, my first piece of advice, I think, would be to look at like the logistics. So things like who's going to pay your health insurance, what happens if you get sick, who's going to pay your visa costs, all that kind of thing. Start to think, because they can sometimes take months. You might need to get to the Chinese embassy or the Korean embassy or the Japanese embassy, wherever you are in your country, in the UK. So if you're in Newcastle, you might need to go to London or Edinburgh. I don't know where the more recent one is, for example. So that takes time. Start to think about what that sort of process is. Then start to think about a couple of things you need to think about is where in the Far East, massive place, do you want to teach? And then secondly, what sort of teaching do you want to do? Is it kids? Is it adults? Because that's the sort of thing that you might need to look into. There's generally more work if you want to teach kids. All right. Then once you've started looking, start to think about things like accommodation costs, who's going to pay for it. When you arrive, are they going to put you in a hotel for a few days? Are they going to give you some nice accommodation for the whole time? Look into those sort of logistics things and Google other people that have done it. Okay. I think we also have some blog posts about people that have been out in China, Korea, that kind of thing. So have a look on our website. Okay. Tony, if you're in Costa Rica already, back to your short things, then what I would do is you were there already, I would talk to local language schools, because they'll probably only want to take you on at a term at a time, or even just a week at a time. So go to local language schools and say, hello, I'm Tony. I'm in Costa Rica. Hi, give me some work. This is my qualifications. And I'm sure they'll love that. Companies on the whole much prefer employing people that are in the country already. Now, I don't think everybody should rush on a flight to that country and think they'll get work. No, the best way if you're not in that country is to apply through the normal channels. But if you're already in Costa Rica, then you'll, just go to the local schools and knock on the doors, say hello, but don't expect them to reimburse your flight costs. They won't. If you're already there, they won't reimburse your flight costs. Okay. Emma, hello. Teaching in Italy. Lovely. Right. Italy at the moment is difficult because I know I do a lot of work in Spain and Italy, and a lot of the language schools are in areas that are locked down, unfortunately. Tips, advice, you will see once COVID disappears, that there are people that schools advertise to people in Italy. All right. Again, the main cities are probably your go-to areas. I would start to think about where you want to work in Italy. Okay, so Italy's a map. The north is very, very different from the south. Where exactly do you want to work, and then start seeing if language schools are open there. Send some emails, that kind of thing. My advice to people that want to go teach in Italy is and I'm sorry about this, be aware of your costs. Teachers in Italy are not generally that well paid. And I'm talking about sort of teachers in primary schools, senior schools, as well as teachers in language schools. So don't go over there unless you've got a few quid behind you. And, make sure that you're not going to go stay in somewhere which is really, really expensive. Okay. Good. Thanks for those blog posts, Erin. Nina, that's another question about Italy. The reason why it's difficult is because at the moment, schools don't want to commit to paying people. Okay, so a lot of the teachers I know in Italy that work in Italy, they work a few hours in one school, a few hours in another school, and a few hours there. They're sort of buzzing around their city, working in different places, alongside having some private clients. So Italy is one of the more difficult places to get guaranteed work in, for sure. It's just one of those geographical things. Spain is quite a bit easier. Okay. How to secure a job there, I think you've got to go with the open mind, Nina, that you're going to be working a few hours here, a few hours there, a few hours here, until you get into a school which has a lot of students that are willing to take you on. Okay. Good. Mehmet, good, no problem. Mark, hello. Can you earn a comfortable living? This is a lovely question. Teaching English online full time. Right, Mark, what is a comfortable living? Now, I live in Northern Ireland, but I'm originally from London. And one of the reasons I moved to Northern Ireland is because things are a lot cheaper. And the rate of paying TEFL online is pretty standard. You don't... A company will not pay you more because you're in London than they would pay me in Northern Ireland, okay? So I don't know where you are in the world, Mark. Are you in quite an expensive place to live? All right, that's the first thing. Is your rent expensive? Is your mortgage expensive? If you've got quite high rates of, if you've got quite high outgoings, then teaching English online, you can work out how much money you're going to get, because let's say it's $25 an hour. You probably can only do about $25, 25 hours a week. Times it by that, however much you get is going to be your income minus taxes, all this kind of thing. Is that happy for you? Now, for me, in Northern Ireland, lovely. All right. And I actually charge a bit more than that because I've been going longer. I have my own students that I get myself. I can teach online and I can earn, for me, a comfortable living. I don't go out much. I wish I went out more, but I've got a 5-year-old daughter, this kind of thing. So one person's comfortable living is quite different from another person's comfortable living, if that makes sense, Mark. So I know people that do teach English online full time, but I also know people that struggle in quite rich areas. Okay. What you might want to do, Mark, is look about working in the city where you're in physically and also teaching online. I would say to most people when they're starting, vary what you do. Look locally for students physically, look online for students in a company, a recruiter, or start to get your own students through Facebook, through Google, through your website, that thing. Do a bit of this, a bit of this, a bit of that, get different multiple incomes coming in, and then that will help you more long term and give you a bit more stability. I hope that answers your question. Wayne, good. That's good. I'm glad that was helpful for you. Right, so I'm just going to sort of wrap up. Oh, there's one more question there. Zamzam, hello. I've got to do that because your name's fantastic. You're nervous to start teaching online once you finish your online class. Any tips for new? Right. If you are a bit nervous, I would look at maybe adding on either some modules or adding on one of our sort of practical classes. So if you go on our website, and perhaps I haven't got time to just show that because we're coming to the end now, but if you go on our website, if you've got the basic 120 hour course, there are modules that you can add on about teaching online, for example. There are also practical weekend courses that we do where you can learn more about teaching online, okay? And you can do some practice, that kind of thing. That might be something that you could do to get over the nerves. Another thing you might want to do is start to teach locally any sort of refugees or any sort of voluntary work, just to build your confidence up, where you're not really bound to having a company pay you and that kind of thing. You'll be surprised how locally, wherever you are, there are people that want to learn online for free, okay? And see if you can build up your confidence that way, okay? Tony, countries that offer the best salary, perks, packages, chase the oil, Tony. Although at the moment oil price is quite low, but traditionally the countries that offer the best salary and perks packages are the countries where there's lots of oil. So that's countries like the Middle East. I once worked in Azerbaijan chasing the oil money, for example. I once worked in Iraq where there was lots of oil money at that time. So chase the oil tends to be traditionally the way it goes. But at the moment, oil prices are deflated, okay? If you want to go sort of as a standard, tends to generally not be too bad, then Japan and Korea tend to be good places for packages and for salary. Perks, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you're still a teacher. You know, you're not some sort of financial whiz being employed to do that. So your perks aren't going to be huge. You know, the things you want to look for are insurance, accommodation. Some countries give you accommodation, some countries don't, for free included. And things like some offer you things like settling in allowance, that kind of thing. Okay. Good, Sam, no problem. Lucy, how do you build up your experience? I just sort of had think about sort of teaching locally, think about teaching sort of refugees, this kind of thing. See if you can do that. All right. Gracia, last one. Thank you. I'm glad it was super useful. Right. I have done, if you go back on our Facebook page, there are so many 1 hour talks that I did about teaching online. I think sort of around June time, May, June time, or maybe June, let's say June, I did like every week, I did a 1 hour talk about teaching online. And the things that I said then are still relevant today. Okay. We might next week or the week after, or maybe in the new year, I don't know when the next one's going to be, do one on teaching online, but go back and look on our Facebook page. There's loads of stuff about teaching online. There's also some really good blog posts on our website about teaching online. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Hello. I've just started. Why am I saying hello again? Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that and it was useful and that it's helping you to start planning to teach abroad. If you do have any questions about TEFL, please put into our Facebook page, do on the messenger, put in the comments underneath this YouTube video, send us a question, or you can go on our website. There's a chat to us function, that kind of thing. We are really happy at TEFL.org to answer any questions you have. We love getting people abroad teaching. The people that work for TEFL.org, especially the tutors and the teachers, have been lucky enough to teach all over the world. It's given me a great life, and it's definitely something that I love helping people to do. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Merry Christmas, and have a nice weekend. Bye.